Can you at least give that one person who is watching this video right now the primary process of feed formulation?
Now, like in our area, I don't know how other places they call it, because we also have our own local names the way we call it. We have the cassava husk, which some people call it gari chaff. That's a remnant from gari, our local gari here from cassava. If you have it, good, you keep it aside. Then you now have PKC, palm kernel chaff, the waste from palm kernel. That one is sold on in the open market. If you go to any fish shop, you can get it there. You have it. You now have soya beans. Soya beans, raw one. If you like to buy a raw one, you buy. If you like to buy already toasted one and blended one, is in the market. Now the raw one is cheaper. But if you buy the raw one, you have to come and process it now. And what are the processes now? You have to toast. After toast, you take it to the grinder, you crush into powdery form. Then normally we're supposed to have a scale. You now have a percentage of all these items you are mixing. But I don't even have one. So I do the guesswork. I now bring the gari chaff. Sometimes I have a waste from a maize, our local what we call pap or akamu. The waste from it too. If you have it, fine. If you some you dry, some use fresh. Now if you dry, it lasts longer. If you use wet, it's just for a short period of time. So you now bring all of them together. You now measure a quantity of it, of the either cassava chaff, or you use the gari chaff I made mention of, or the maize waste. You bring it together, you measure a quantity of the PKC, that's the palm kernel chaff. You bring a quantity of the soya beans, you mix together, and you go and start giving to them. After properly stirring them together. Sometimes you can even use, like some persons will use bone meal most of the time. If you have, because all these things I mentioned, they are not easily to get by, they are also expensive. So if you now have it, you now mix all together and you now start giving. And by the time you are consistent, some will even have to go to maybe any restaurant or fast food joint, keep a container, all the waste from what people have eaten, the bones, the leftover food, they put in a bucket, carry, come and give to them. And that is also another very rich source. But if you are not in a place that you can have all those ones, you can at least look at the environment. What waste do you have? Some people give peels like yam peels, plantain peels. Then some also give a cassava peel. But the issue of cassava peel is that cassava itself contains cyanide. And the cyanide content, if you give it raw, it affects the animal. It gives them stunted growth, and sometimes they may even end up dying. So what you do is, if you have a fresh cassava peel, what you do is you sun dry. After sun dry, you now crush and mix with the other waste you also have and give. If you don't have time to dry, you can soak it. You soak it like we used to soak our local fufu here. You soak for like 3 to 4 days. When they are easily fermented now, the cyanide content in it must have really gone down. Then you can now mix other things and give. Then you look at what is palatable to them. Like if you now look at the fish meal now, they like the smell of fish. So by the time you now rub fish in any item, what they want to just go and test it because of what? The smell of the fish. That's for pig. No matter how much you have, you can never have a quantity of feed you will need unless you source for local ones too, which I may mention here.